Welcome to the Private Practice with Soul podcast. My name is Dr. Storme, and I help private practice owners align their business back with their soul's calling, with their big vision and with their soul's purpose. Unlike other private practice coaches, I've traveled the world in search of spiritual resources, spiritual tools, education and information so that you can have the transformation that your soul desires and needs so that you can up-level your business. How much fun is this? I love it so much. Guys, if you're not already a member of the Private Practice Monthly Mentorship Group, please check out the show notes. I would love for you to be there. In the meantime, thank you so much for pushing play today. Let's begin. Hello and welcome to another Wednesday edition of the Private Practice with Soul podcast. If we haven't met yet, hi, my name is Dr. Storme. I'm a coach to private practice owners here in beautiful, starting to get sunny Melbourne, Australia, and welcome to the show, and thank you so much to all the new subscribers, and thank you to everybody who's listening. I hope that you're really enjoying these episodes, and I am loving putting them together for you. In fact, today what I want to do is talk with you a little bit about how you can start to receive abundance in your private practice. And this is going to be, well, you know me, I think a little bit differently to the other private practice coaches I know. They might not even talk about abundance, but I want to share with you, I guess, my take on abundance in your private practice, how you can start to, tap into it, how you can start to receive it, why you're not receiving it. And you know what? It's my ultimate dream and it's my ultimate goal to be able to have all of you guys write in at some point and say, oh my goodness, that episode that you did changed my practice for the better. And, I haven't looked back. Thank you. That's what I really, really want. I want to create this beautiful ripple effect where, one day you're just going to hear the right episode at the right time that you need to hear it, and you're going to be able to go and implement something, and it's going to create that boom, that big change. And I think today's episode is probably going to do that for many of you. So if it does, let me know. Okay, so I've got my little notes here today. I did put notes together because I just delivered training on this in my group, the Private Practice Monthly Mentorship Group. So every week in there, I do a training for those beautiful, beautiful ladies, and I love them to bits. So I want to give you a snippet of what was shared in there. If you want to hear the rest of it, of course, just come in. There's also some journal prompts that I gave the ladies as well to take this work a little bit further and deeper so that they can really start to get some change in their practice. So I want to extend that to you guys as well. So, okay. Why should we care about receiving abundance in our private practice? Well, why do you think we should? I believe that when we receive abundance in our private practice, it feels great, but why does it feel great? For me, it feels great. Like every time I receive a payment into my Stripe account or into my PayPal account or even into Halaxy, that's my practice management software, in case you're wondering what Halaxy is. I am so grateful. So the first thing that I do is usually I get a notification. So PayPal and Stripe, a little notification pops up on my device. It just says, hey, you've received a payment. I'll go in, I'll have a look at that payment, and I will say out loud, thank you, Sam, for, paying for this service, blah, blah, blah. And I want to really get into the vibe of gratitude, right? And I feel so good. And they've paid me in good faith. I've received it in good faith. It's this exchange, isn't it? Money's just energy, and so is knowledge. And together, Sam and I are having this beautiful exchange. So it feels really, 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 really good. But when we're receiving abundance, ask yourself why it feels so good. So don't just stop at gratitude. You have to understand, why does this feel really good for me? Well, speaking for my practice, It feels really good to me to receive abundance of money into the business. I'll just use the example of money, but you could use the example of referrals, of bookings, of clients, of applications for your job, whatever you want. But the reason that I feel really good when that money comes in is not only is it a beautiful exchange of energy, but that money doesn't stay with me. That money is then passed on by me to my coach, one of them, because when I get coached, then I can bring that knowledge back to my clients. And do you see what I mean? Like, can you see how it's just an exchange? And so those clients are getting the benefit of me investing in my own coaching. And they're getting to hear about new things, learn about new things, and have this growth experience that they're not going to get with other coaches. So that's why it's important to me to feel gratitude for every single cent that comes into my practice, because that abundance means I can do more for my clients. But the reason abundance is important to you could be very different. You know, it really anchors back into your why. Maybe abundance for you means you'll be able to step back a little bit from working in the business, seeing, 8 clients a day, to perhaps, and I don't recommend 8, by the way, that number just popped into my head, but say 6 clients a day, 5 days a week. You'll be able to step back a little bit, put somebody else on. They can do the direct client work for a few days, which will then give you a few days free where you can perhaps work from home on the business, on developing the business, on developing new automation systems, processes, marketing. Go and have those meetings, attend the conferences, speak at a conference, write the book, do whatever it is that you're wanting to do on the practice to take that beautiful solid business that you've got to the next level. And so this is why abundance is important. If you're not receiving all of that, guess what happens? The opposite. So what happens is you start to possibly experience feelings of burnout because you're doing all of the stuff. You're stuck in that masculine drive. You're stuck in that masculine energy, which you might remember from previous episodes. But that masculine energy of giving, providing for your clients, providing for the practice, providing for the building, providing for the room, providing tea, coffee, biscuits, providing electricity and lights, providing team, providing social workers, providing psychologists, counselors, coaches, healers and practitioners, providing new services, providing ads. I mean, it's this constant, it doesn't end. And all that's going to happen is you'll be able to maintain that for a period of time, but eventually there's going to be a chink in the armor or a tear in the aura. And what's going to happen is that energy is going to start leaking out, and that's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for the practice. It's not going to be good for anybody. And there are absolutely some signs and symptoms that you're experiencing, this energy leak or this burnout or this fatigue and this feeling of being on the hamster wheel. Like, one of the signs might be that you feel like every day is the same as the one before, to the point where you can't even really remember what you did the day before, right? It's just like this sense of dread, maybe this sense of, do I have to? Maybe it's this sense of meh. It's that you're not feeling lit up, let's just say. There's not that good energy behind it where everything just flows. It's starting to feel like you're using a lot of effort, starting to feel a bit of a push, bit of a drain. Some of those negative thoughts are starting to creep in a little bit now. Maybe you're getting some physiological symptoms like disruption with your sleep. Maybe you're feeling stressed, cranky, irritable, moody, all those lovely things that I'm sure our families really appreciate as well, and our team. So those sorts of things can happen. And when those signs happen, it's from now on for you a notification that your energy's imbalanced. Okay? There's an imbalance there. You're too much in that masculine. We need to shift you over a little bit more into the feminine. Okay? We never want to be entirely in our masculine or entirely in our feminine. Because when we're only in one, nothing's going to work. If you're only in your masculine and you're only doing, then you're never going to receive. You're not going to receive the bookings, referrals, money, opportunities, visibility. You're not going to receive any of that. If you're only in your feminine and you're just being and you're creating and you're doing and you're an ideas person and you're getting all these downloads and you just feel lovely and you're moving and you're just flitting around from thing to thing, going by where your gut tells you to go, guess what? You're never finishing anything. And so when you don't finish stuff, you're not going to get paid for stuff. So this is why we need to have that fusion of really healthy masculine, really healthy feminine energy in order for you to be able to receive whatever abundance it is that you want to receive in your practice. And here's the other thing. That abundance is already there, guys. Hello, it's already there. You don't have to go and create it. There's nothing you need to do. It's already there. We know that it's already there. Physics tells us that it's already there. What's stopping you from letting it in, though, is a whole bunch of things. And I believe it really boils back down to your vibration. You know, whatever you put out, you're getting back. So if you're giving, you want to try and understand what's going on with the giving. You want to understand what your motivation is behind the giving and then take steps to sort of work through that. If you're actively blocking receiving, well, you want to understand what's going on there as well and start putting steps in place to allow yourself to receive as well, okay? And this is so, so, so important because just imagine what you're going to be able to do for your business when you're able to take your foot off the accelerator and you're going to be able to start putting yourself in the passenger seat instead of the driver's seat. Now, I know even just saying that's freaked some of you out. I know there are some of you that are like, yikes, I can't be the passenger, I've got to be. But here's the thing, guys, if you're white knuckling it and you're coming from scarcity mindset, you're never going to break this pattern. And this is likely to be your experience of private practice until you decide that you don't want to do it anymore. You get to be balanced. You get to, when people join my group or when people have discovery calls with me or they have sales calls with me or clarity calls with me or I'm talking to them in some of the groups I moderate, there's so much stuff that comes up for women around being in their feminine energy, right? And I can boil it down to one word, and that one word is inconvenient. It's just inconvenient. And what I mean by that is I will say to them, hey, have you thought of maybe tapping into your feminine energy during the day while you're at the practice, even if it's only for half an hour or something like that? And so many times women will tell me they don't have time to do that. That it's wasting time to sit down and light a candle and meditate for 10 minutes. Or they'll say it's wasting time to journal when they could be doing supervision for a team member. Or they'll say it's wasting time because there's meetings that they need to attend and stuff like that. And they'll do it later. It's like, it's not a priority. It's like they're so, like entrenched in this masculine, I've got to be doing all this stuff, that they are missing out on receiving all of the things that they want to see in the business because they're so blind and blinkered by this masculine energy to push. And some of them will even say to me, oh, I will try and find time when I get home. But guess what? They get home and there's family there, or there's a partner there, or there's a friend there, or there's some other commitment there. And so even then, all this other stuff comes up around, it's not fair for me to take time out for myself. I feel guilty. They need me. I haven't seen them all day. If I take half an hour for myself now, that's really selfish. And then they decide, oh, well, I'll do it when everybody else goes to bed. But guess what? They're exhausted themselves. And so they don't want to do it when they're going to bed, right? And I get it, because I used to be that person too, right? When I was first learning about feminine energy, I said to my coach, like, that's just a time wasting activity for me. He was trying to help me identify things I could do to shift my energy so I could get into a flow state. And he was coming up with all of these ideas to try and inspire me to come up with my own. And he was saying things like, put on the music and dance. I was like, who's got time for dancing when I've got reports to write? Or I couldn't possibly just go for a walk in the middle of the day. I'm not that person. Like, I've got stuff to do. I don't have time to just stroll around without a care in the world. But it was when I started to just say, all right, then we'll do it your way. Stop hassling me. I'm going to give it a go. Well, guess what? It was when I was in my feminine energy that I started to get the PayPal notifications and the Stripe notifications. It was when I'd come back from doing a walk that there'd been an email in my inbox with a new referral or a new contract for someone or an organization, or a new inquiry, or outstanding money would have suddenly landed in my bank account, or there'd be some kind of new media opportunity. You know, it's like last week or the week before, I can't remember where it was, you know, my own fault, working from home, or the days roll into one another sometimes. But I think it was the week before last, I was interviewed for Sydney Morning Herald, and that interview happened while I was in my feminine energy, right? So I was able to have the experience of being in the feminine energy and actually keep notes about what I received while I was in the feminine versus what I received when I was in my masculine. And I did that for a month. And guess what, guys? Honestly, if you haven't done this as an experiment yet, I would absolutely recommend it. Just keep a piece of paper next to your desk, and every time you receive whatever it is you're wanting to manifest into the business, whether it's a client, a referral, money, invoice, new team member, whenever that thing that you're seeking or desiring comes into the business, stop what you're doing right then and there and look at, was I just now in my masculine energy or was I just now in my feminine? And put a tick in the column for masculine or feminine. And I bet you find at the end of the month, you've got more ticks in the feminine. And it's by having that experience yourself that you're going to learn for yourself that it's safe to step back. And that's the thing. I think it's unfamiliar to step back. And so that feeling of it not being familiar makes you think, oh my goodness, this feels weird, this feels strange, this doesn't feel right. I can't handle this. I'm just gonna avoid it, not do it, stop doing it, whatever it is. So yeah, allow yourself to learn experientially and see what happens, because it's going to be a huge game changer for you, honestly. And if learning about masculine and feminine is something that you're really interested in, go back and have a look at some of the blog posts and have a look at some of the posts on my Facebook pages, because you'll find more information about them there. And yeah, it's really going to help you. I could talk about this topic forever. And in fact, I do in the private practice method, but I'll talk to you more about that another time. So I would love to hear from you guys about where you struggle with your masculine and your feminine energy. And even if you have any questions about what the masculine and the feminine looks like for you in your private practice, because I would really, 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 really love to be able to help you unlock more of what you're wanting to see in the practice. And these are tools that you already have. You already have access to these energies on the inside and the outside. Remember that there's that masculine energy and there's feminine. There's divine masculine, divine feminine, and some people call it wounded masculine and wounded feminine. If you're not comfortable using the terms masculine and feminine, you can use the terms yin and yang, okay? Or whatever you like. It's just a archetypal term that we use to help people remember the language and the dynamic of what we're trying to convey. So the abundance is already there. You don't need to do anything more than you're already doing to create it. It's already there. You just need to find out for yourself what it is that keeps you in this pattern of overgiving to the business, And then you need to look at, okay, now I understand why I'm overgiving. What am I going to do about it? And maybe start small and allow yourself to get comfortable, and then take another step, get comfortable with that, take another step, get comfortable with that. Nobody's saying you have to do this quickly. It's your journey and you get to go at your own pace. Alrighty? So I hope that this was super helpful. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to drop me a line anytime. My email address is always in the show notes for you. Plus, you can contact me through my website, which is just brooklynstorme.com, or you can check out my other website and learn more about things that I offer, like shamanic healing and oracle and tarot, and how you can use them for therapy and how you can use them in your practice and stuff like that. You can go and check out more of that information at my other website, which is called soulsessions.online. I'll put that in the comments for you as well. All right, guys, have a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Thank you so much. Oh, and before I go, if you haven't accessed the free private practice video training yet, I'll put the link in the comments for you to go and see that as well, because I think it's really going to help those of you who are starting, or even those of you who are already in the practice but feeling like you're in the fog a little bit, like you're kind of hitting some glass ceiling or some glass wall and you're not quite sure what the next step is. I think this is going to raise your awareness and be super helpful for you. So I'll pop that in the links for you as well. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. Have a beautiful Wednesday, and I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Private Practice with Soul podcast today. If you're looking for clarity, if you need help with branding, your processes, and bringing everything into alignment with your soul's purpose for your private practice, head to the show notes and click the link for more information about the Private Practice Monthly Mentorship Group. You are going to love it. I can't wait to see you in there. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.